Hi, this is Shell of Shell's Creations. Are you tired of using the same old strings? You love the strings that you have, but it seems like you use the same one in kit after kit. Today I want to show you some quick tricks that you can do to stretch your stash. I'm going to be using the CU Swirly Strings 2, and I'm going to be doing it in Photoshop. But these same techniques could be done in Photoshop Elements. The two strings I'm going to be using today are string number 1 and string number 2. I kind of like the curve that's in this one, and so I'm going to take this piece right here, this big loop. I'm not sure exactly how much I'll need, so I'm kind of picking a spot where it's a little bit more straight. I'm going to copy that piece and I'm going to throw it on top of swirly string number 1. Now it looks like I could kind of combine the top two right here and then maybe combine the bottom edges somewhere down here. So let's see what I need. For this piece, I'm going to need the long string number 1. I'm going to want that piece. Go back to my first layer and Control J to duplicate it. And the other part I'm going to need is going to be this part down here. Notice that I'm putting more than I need so that I'll be able to line them up correctly. And let's do a Control or Command J there. Okay, I'm going to erase the back of that. And now we're going to work on piecing them together. So let's take, first we want to zoom in. We want to zoom in and line these two up. I'm going to go ahead and move the curved one to match. It looks like the place that I see it's going to be easiest to line up is about right here. And notice that they still overlap by quite a ways. So, okay, now that I've picked the placement of where I want them to overlap, I'm going to go ahead and use my eraser tool. I have it set to a soft edge because I kind of want this to be a little bit smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and erase the top one below that point. And you have to be a little bit careful in doing this. Now I'm going to go to my bottom piece and erase it right up here. Now one of the things that you can't see is where you have not erased it carefully and it's going to show up. And the best way to show that up is using a stroke. If you are using Photoshop Elements, you will need to combine them and work on showing a stroke, go back and erase it, but it's a little bit easier to do here because I can just add a stroke style to the layer. So there we go, there's that one. Notice that I've got a tiny stroke on this. Double click, click on the stroke, and I've lowered my stroke amount on this to 3 pixels wide. You could go 1 or 2, you just need it to show the extras. Okay, now let's zoom in really close and clean that up just a little bit. It looks like I have on the back side some of these extras that are showing that don't need to. Take those off the one on the back. The one on the back is my bottom one. Okay, that cleaned that up quite a bit. On the front, I have little ones showing here, but they don't go outside the edge of my string. It kind of looks like I've got another one right there on the back side. I'll go ahead and erase those. Okay, now let's clear those strokes. And now those will flow smoothly together. Okay, now let's work on the top one. Okay, that's this one. Let's see where. Now notice that it might not match up exactly. You might end up rotating something. It looks like I'm going to rotate this one. Let's see with what looks. The one thing I would be careful about is rotating them so that they're overlapping. You can do that, but you're going to have to go back in and add some shadowing so that it looks more realistic there. So play around with the direction. I can see, to me, this part of the string and this part of the string look a lot alike. And so I'm going to try combining them at about that spot right there. I think that's probably where they will combine best. Okay, now let's zoom in really close and see what we can do here. Okay, this time my top layer again is this one, so let's go in with my eraser tool. And this time I just barely want to erase the very edge of it just so it's a little bit smooth because I don't have a lot of overlap this time. And on the one behind I've got quite a bit I need to get rid of. If you've got a whole lot, the eraser tool is probably not your best. You'll find yourself with the stroke leaving a lot of residual there. but you don't want to erase too much so that it goes up under here. So again, let's go in and add the stroke to those layers so that we can see what we're trying to erase. Okay, you can see how sloppy that was of what I erased down below, so let's clean that up. Now let's zoom in a lot closer so we can see what we want to get rid of. It looks like I've got some extra right here sticking out. Make sure I'm on my layer for the back part. Control D to deselect, and I've got a bunch sticking out right here. There we go. Now we've got that cleaned up. Select both of those layers and clear the layer styles. Now we can, looks like we erased too much because you can see that it faded it out. So let's undo that and go back again. Looks like I better go in right here and only take off that part. I may need that other bump on there. And because the string is woven, I think it will merge together smoothly. And here it looks like the place we better merge the two is about right there. Okay, now let's go in and clear those layer styles. Okay, that's looking better. Now let's merge them and see if there's anything else we need to clean up. Merge them together, go back and add your stroke. Okay, that's a stroke on the outside. We can also switch that stroke to the inside and make sure that we didn't leave any areas transparent that we didn't mean to. Okay, clear the layer style. There we go. There's our new string. Different than all the other strings that are in the kit, and a way that you can combine different parts of the different strings to create your own string without having to do a lot of extraction. It's a fabulous way to stretch your stash. I use the CU Swirly Strings 2 for this technique, but the technique works on all of the swirly strings that you have. It also would work on the thinner swirly strings. It's a little bit easier on that one where that doesn't have the weave. It also works on baker's twine. You have to be a little more careful because of the alternating colors when you line things up, but it works great. Or the baker's twine 2. Again, you have to be careful because of the colors to line those up, but that you will find that this technique works on all of the strings that you own. Now you have lots more strings than you had originally, and you still don't have to extract. If you like the things that you've seen today, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. I share a new tip each week. Use the link below. If you'd like notification of when I release new videos, be sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, there are tips like these and others in my Photoshop Designer Essentials class. See the link below for more information. Thank you. See you next time.